we're back on the show. For some reason, we're talking about giraffes. Do you know why the long neck?
It's because there's a zoo that just had a very tall baby giraffe born, 6 feet tall. Just doing very healthy. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, it's apropos of nothing, except the giraffes are awfully cool.
We are not talking about giraffes.
Not at all.
Today, because we've got Alexi Bracey joining us. Came all the way down from Shelburne today.
That's right.
Right? I mean, I hear you talking about the cold and the snow.
The whiteouts.
The whiteouts. You got that lake effect snow coming from Georgian Bay, don't you?
That's right.
Do you just think that Torontonians are incredibly wimpy when it comes to weather? And as soon as there's 3 flakes in the air, we're all like, oh, it's so cold. Look at the snow.
No, but it is cold. Like the wind, the last couple of days is brutal.
It's one of the coldest Decembers we've had in...
Well, we're making up for it because we had a nice November, I guess.
We did. We had a perfect transition.
That's why we're not used to it, because it's just like when you go south, from winter to really heat. You go, oh my gosh, I like the heat, but it's like, whereas this is the other way around now, and you're going, oh, I can't, it's only December, I'll take the wind in January, but not yet.
It's when you come back from the south and you realize you didn't put on the right clothes for getting off the plane. Yeah,
that's true.
Well, we're hoping that...
Talk about first world problems, eh? Oh, it was so cold getting off the plane. It's terrible.
We're talking about some... every time you come here, Alexi, you bring us some treats. And today is no different, right? You brought a fine array of treats here. I don't know if we can see these, but... we are looking for the treats right now, and
yum!
I already had some
treats and knees.
Now, so what are we talking about today? Usually it's raw food, right, Alexi?
Well, it is raw food. So right here is smoked Gouda. It's a non-dairy cheese, assorted dehydrated crackers, pumpernickel, no gluten. This is a Mexican cheese again, non-dairy. We've got kale chips with nutritional yeast that makes it taste like cheese. And then assorted finger desserts, all gluten, dairy-free. Some are just put together, some are dehydrated. But, the latest sort of, I don't know, what do you want to call it, rage or whatever, it's just people are going, companies coming, they're gluten-free, they're dairy-free, they're sugar-free, they're soy-free. When am I going to serve them? This is the perfect alternative. Non-dairy cheese, sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free. I do sell these products. I do offer classes in them. Invite a group of friends together and have a great afternoon, and I'll prepare all this stuff for you.
Hey,
well,
that's nice. Right, you have your basically your own gluten-free, dairy-free live-in chef for the day.
Well, that's right, and just a party.
Now, how do you make cheese that's not made with dairy?
Well, what thickens this particular, the smoked Gouda, is agar. And agar is like very similar to gelatin.
It's used to grow bacterial cultures in labs.
That's right, exactly. Exactly.
But not in this case. Not in this case.
And then I used a liquid smoke to give it that smoky flavor. And it's a nut base. And, it's a healthier alternative.
I'm going to mix it.
Very nice. Like we need to see that? Is it good? Oh, just to prove that you're eating it. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah, it is good.
So when you dehydrate something, you were saying that some of them are just put together and some of them are dehydrated. Does the dehydration actually kind of take the place of cooking? Does it actually make things stick together better?
Actually, the dehydrating process removes the water, so then that makes it stick together. But very often in items that are dehydrated, you've got something that's binding, whether it's flax seeds or psyllium or something like that, that will just hold it together a little more firmly. But basically, you're taking the water out.
So with the flax or the psyllium, it's that plus a liquid that would make it bind, and then, or how does it?
Well, the liquid is because your nuts are usually soaked. You might have carrots in it or celery or something. So there's liquid there right there. But then when you put this all together, it's the dehydrating process that sort of removes the water. It sort of slowly takes it out without killing the enzymes.
Right. Which is what doesn't happen when you use a microwave to dehydrate something. Because it probably kills it boils the water out, but it changes the food as well. It doesn't.
If you have a microwave oven, you don't give it away, you don't sell it, you throw it away.
No, actually, no. I got a better use for a microwave oven.
What?
Yeah.
You can unplug it. You don't need to do that anymore. But in case we have a electromagnetic pulse event,
Yes.
or if there's one of those sunburst things that's going to destroy everything, right? What you do is you put your hard drives in the microwave.
Hey.
And it will keep your data
Because it's
safe.
lead line. Is it
Okay.
is it actually lead that they line them with, or what do they line them with?
Something like that.
But it's basically radiation sealed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
So
that's
this
what
is
you do
stopping
with
the
your
radiation
microwave.
from getting in, as opposed to stopping the radiation from getting out.
Exactly.
Well, there you go. And also, if you want to keep like medical supplies that are radioactive, you could keep them in your microwave.
You sure could.
Which hopefully you won't be doing.
Well, hopefully, why would you have to use a radioactive medical thing, right? But Alexi, let's get back to the food
Yes.
here, because maybe you could give us like, this is healthy food, right? I
But
know
it's tasty. I mean, people don't like to say healthy food because they think, oh, you're nerdy. Like, why? If somebody says you're a health nut, why are you a nut? But if you're a car nut or a wine really into wines, you're not considered a nut. But if you're into health, you're considered a nut.
And I've seen some pretty convincing stuff on the internet that that it's the animal protein that's really causing so much disease.
That's right, because
It's-
they're fed antibiotics, they're fed GMO foods.
But it's hard for the body to digest
Exactly,
as well, right?
exactly. I mean, if you're going to eat meat, you're best to eat wild game because they're out roaming. They haven't been caged. They haven't been fed GMO corn. They haven't been fed antibiotics.
And some people make the choice to go completely vegetarian or vegan, but raw food too is a whole other approach.
Well, I mean, I suggest more raw food in warmer weather. And in Ontario, I like my warm, hearty lentil soups or with broccoli or whatever because you need to keep warm. But if you did a smoothie every day or if you did a juice every day, that's raw food. Your salad is raw. People don't think of your salad as being raw. It's just you should try to eat your foods at room temperature as opposed to ice cold. Because if you made a salad and you went into your garden to pick it, you would eat it right away. You wouldn't pick it and then refrigerate it and then eat it. We're obsessed about ice cold.
Right.
And unless you want to lose weight, you shouldn't eat ice cold food because if your food is ice cold, it takes your body more energy to bring the food up to room temperature, and that would cause you to lose weight or to expedite the weight loss process.
Okay,
So-
now I'm thinking
so
that something's going to have the frozen diet.
Right. Yeah. Good point. So, I focus more on plant-based. The only entry in the Olympics this summer in Rio de Janeiro from the United States in the heavy free weight lifting, he free lifted 800 pounds.
Holy cow.
Raw foodist, excuse me. Canada's only iron triathlete, raw foodist. It's mind over matter. People say, oh, I can't give up my meat. All I'm suggesting is try it for a week, try it for 2 weeks, just to see how much better you do feel. You don't have to get it up totally. Just cut down on your consumption.
Well, these things are yummy, so I think it's always easier to, instead of thinking you're giving up something, thinking you're getting different food that's delicious. So
Yeah, so just add 2.
yeah. So tell me
yeah.
of these crackers. The lighter colored crackers are kind of spicy. They've got
Cayenne pepper.
okay.
Okay, but it's flax seeds, sunflower seeds, rosemary, carrots, celery, cayenne pepper. That's it.
They're really nice. Yeah, a little bit of a bite to those ones.
You got me thinking
Yeah,
about these things now. I'm going to have another one.
That's good
Know what
though.
I'm saying?
I got to try the kale chips. How does kale stack up with other leafy greens?
It's the highest source of calcium of any vegetable,
Really?
but in moderation for people that have thyroid issues,
Why?
because of the phytoestrogens found in kale. So, go through a bunch of kale, then switch over to, say, Swiss chard or Swiss
I didn't
to
know
beet
that.
greens or whatever. Don't keep on eating kale nonstop.
Now, do you grow your own kale?
No, I don't have a garden. The only thing I grow are sprouts.
Do you have one of those Tony Hornick sprouters?
Yes, I do. That's for my mung beans. And then I use my mason jar for alfalfa, red clover, black lentils, broccoli sprouts.
Why don't you use Tony's sprouter for that other stuff?
Because Tony's sprouter is for mung beans, and mung beans are heavy.
No, I know what you mean, but I thought you could
Is it for
sprout
the
other
size
stuff
of
in that.
the size of the seeds? Or?
Well, it's the size of the seeds too. Like the
yeah.
alfalfa or the broccoli are really teeny
They just go
tiny.
through the
They
mesh.
would go through the mesh, so that's why I use a mason jar.
I see. Okay. So now, Alexi, why don't you tell us a story of how you came to work with primarily vegetable-based raw
Well, just like
type
everybody, I was eating a healthy diet. Everybody says I eat a healthy diet. So I had moved out west because I didn't like Ontario winters anymore.
foods? Oh yeah, they're much better out west.
They're warmer, wetter.
Actually, they have snow in Vancouver right now.
I know it's as bad there as it is here.
That's right. So anyway, I moved out west. I was diagnosed with uterine cancer, which totally caught me by surprise. And the raw food movement had just started in Vancouver. This is at the turn of the century. Sounds like eons ago, but it wasn't really that long ago, 17 years ago. And so I embraced the raw food lifestyle. I started eating raw, organic juicing, got rid of all the toxic toiletries in my home, did a lot of personal work on forgiveness and meditations and that kind of thing. And within a year, I was cancer-free. So it wasn't just diet, it was a whole lifestyle change.
Right.
And I was already a trained chef, so I just sort of changed hats a bit and started taking a lot of courses on raw food, vegetarian food. I'm a cancer coach and an iridologist, so sort of focusing on helping people through a plant-based lifestyle, but also addressing your emotions, because we all know stress kills, and environmental toxins, because we're just bombarded with toxins every single day in our homes, from the plastics to the Wi-Fi to the microwave ovens to city water, plus a host of other toxins that people don't even know are there.
So you switched your food to something that you knew was healthy, and you got rid of a lot of toxins in your environment, and then the prognosis, what happened?
Well, I've been cancer-free. I don't say cancer-free. I don't say I survived cancer. I conquered cancer.
Yeah.
So that was 17 years ago.
And now you, as you said, you're a cancer coach, right?
That's right.
So people out there that are dealing with it, they can give you a call and
Absolutely. So it's I provide resources. Like maybe you're totally confused because your doctor's telling you chemo and radiation, and maybe you got family members are saying, no, do it alternatively, do it with diet and meditation and all this other stuff. So I offer alternatives. What I'm suggesting is at least try it for 2 or 3 months. Because they want you booked in for surgery or chemo like right away. That cancer's been in your body for 10 years and growing. 2 or 3 months isn't going to kill you. And they're not God to say, you better do something or you're going to be dead in a month.
Right.
They're not God.
Yeah, no, that it drives me nuts to see people.
They put the pressure on the poor guy that is so scared, or the woman.
Yeah.
Or I also help people that maybe have a family history of cancer and don't want to go down that road.
Well,
And so
that's
they
correct.
want to do preventative now.
Which is which is what you really should be doing.
Exactly.
Right. And which is we don't have a lot of that in our society. We don't
No.
try to stop ourselves from getting
No,
sick.
we're not into prevention. Where we think that a pill will cure our ill.
And
Well,
it means it's a lot less work for us.
Well,
we
absolutely.
Think. We
That's
think,
right. That's
but-
right.
This reminds me of kind of the same point we were making in our last interview, that we need to step up and be responsible for our health.
Yeah, we want somebody else to make the decisions, to tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, as opposed to saying, no, I'm going to be proactive. Like how many people that have been put on medications, whether it's for diabetes or heart disease or whatever, it doesn't matter. How many people have taken the time to look up what the side effects of those meds are?
Yeah.
People don't. And then when something worse happens, or something unexplained, well, it's a side effect from whatever.
Yeah. We've been talking a lot about ibuprofen lately, just among people I know.
We have?
Well, not
I'd like to hear
necessarily with
what
you.
you've been talking
I didn't include you in the ibuprofen conversation. I feel very guilty about that.
I want to be included.
Because one of the major side effects of ibuprofen is a potential to cause ulcers. And it's very frequent that if you're taking ibuprofen, which is sort of sold as a drug that you can take every day without any harm, a lot of people develop ulcers. And,
That's right.
and it becomes a commonly known thing after you get your first ulcer with ibuprofen. Because then your doctor says, "Oh yes, that's a side effect, and here are some drugs to help cure your your
It's
ulcer."
just like a pill to counteract that side effect, another pill to counteract that other side effect. It just cascades, one thing after another, after another, after another. I'm a pill pusher, but my pills are all supplements. From essential fatty acids to vitamin D to K to, those kinds of things, not the things for GERDs or, all the other.
It seems like we spend a lot of time treating the symptoms of diseases without actually
that's the
treating
big
underlying.
The big movement now is functional medicine getting to the root cause. With all due respect, chiropractics are great, acupuncture is great, Thai massage is great, essential oils are great, no questions. But what caused the headache? Why is your back out?
Yeah.
What is causing the knee pain? Get to the root cause. It could be parasites, it could be a fungus, it could be H. pylori, it could be heavy metal toxicity, it could be your drinking water, it could be Wi-Fi, it could be plastics. The list just goes on and on.
It could be the way you sit at work.
Absolutely.
Very, very simple. That's actually where I come to your perspective, is from working in an office where I ended up with carpal tunnel syndrome. And the doctor, so if you don't know, you've probably, most people probably heard about this.
I was diagnosed with it about 20 years ago.
Okay.
And I changed my diet.
Yeah. Well, and because it's actually an inflammation of the tendons that run through your wrist. So if you actually don't have the inflammation, you don't have the continued rubbing, and you don't have the damage. I started doing a body alignment technique called mitzvah. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but that was actually getting the body to come back into proper alignment, which meant that there was no more pressure on my shoulders, on my back, which meant that there was no more pressure on my arms, which meant that there was no more pressure on my wrists. And now every time I have that same problem, I just go back and treat it was a very good lesson in how to treat the body holistically. Yeah. And to get down to that root cause, so that I never did have the surgery. And that was after having been in the wrist braces for almost a year, and knowing that every time I used my hands for anything that I used to do, like I used to do a lot of origami, so origami was
very fine.
Yeah, it was hurting my arms.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the latest in some of the offices is they get a desk that's high where you have to stand at it rather than sit at it.
Yeah.
These are really good for you.
I don't want to work at a standing desk.
Well, the one thing that they were saying was it makes meetings a lot shorter when people have standing desks, because no one wants to come in and lounge in your office anymore.
Well, they say after 2 hours at your computer, you should take a 15-20-minute break anyway.
Yeah.
Smoke break. Right, Alexi?
Yes.
Of course, I'm being...
It's a microwave
totally
noodle break. Yes.
Not...
Yes, he's being totally not serious.
Don't
Are
mean
you?
That.
Yes.
No, I'm not. Alexi, what's with the gluten-free thing? Like it's like everybody's talking about it. I'm even thinking sometimes. Maybe
they don't have people don't have problems with their digestion in Europe. Why? Because Monsanto has been thrown out of Europe.
Really?
Okay.
Interesting.
Gluten sensitivities, intolerances are responsible for phytosates, which is a spray. It's an ingredient found in the spray called Roundup, produced by Monsanto.
Glyphosates.
So our crops are sprayed with glyphosates, especially wheat. In Europe, people that have digestive problems can go to Europe and eat all the bread they want, and they don't have digestive problems because their bread is not sprayed with glyphosates. But, like cross-contamination, so there are other foods that are sprayed with Roundup as well. But everybody talks about the gluten in wheat. There is gluten found in oats. It's not the same gluten as in wheat, but it is still a gluten. And so gluten crosses the intestinal tract, causing autoimmune disease. And that's the new diseases for the 21st century are autoimmune and thyroid and gluten sensitivities, leaky gut.
Because we didn't have that when we were kids.
No, we
right?
didn't.
No.
And
Absolutely
people
not.
eat peanut butter sandwiches, no problem.
I know, and
On
the
white
problem
Wonder
with
Bread.
and the problem with nuts is not the nut allergy per se; it's the mold on the nut.
Right.
And the worst nuts are peanuts and cashews.
So those are ones that are stored. Actually, those are nuts that are wet when they're.
Well, but
Like
even organic
moist.
ones, it depends on how they've been stored in the warehouse.
Right.
Was it too damp? Was it too cold? Was it sitting there for months and months? It's all about storage, and we don't know what the storage is like. It's just the same thing with probiotics that you buy at the health food store. Most probiotics are DOA, dead
Right.
on arrival, because if they're not stored in refrigerated warehouses, trucks, refrigerated warehouses, if they sit at the back of the store for a week or two, they're dead on arrival. So I always tell everybody to take a fermented probiotic, either in the form of a Vita-Biosa, or you can buy fermented probiotics. So probiotics that are not refrigerated.
Is
so
it possible to make your own probiotics?
No, you can make prebiotics, but not probiotics. And prebiotics are what sort of provides the friendly environment for your friendly bacteria to thrive. Kimchi, kefir, kombucha, kvass, and kvass is like a fermented beet. So all the K foods are usually prebiotics.
And what's the difference between a prebiotic and a probiotic?
Prebiotic lays the healthy foundation for the prebiotics to thrive. And so everybody should do prebiotics and probiotics every day. I even give prebiotics to my animals, even kefir, and I make my kefir with coconut. My dogs love it. Absolutely love it.
I want some right now.
Yeah, why didn't you bring some of? No, I'm kidding. Why didn't you bring some of that too? This is yummy though. You're right.
We'll try some sweets.
Okay, yeah, the kale really does taste like it's got cheese on it.
Eat some sweets there, Jen.
Okay.
Right now.
Is that
Okay, this is coconut in both these two. Coconut cashew truffles, chocolate haystacks. This is a banana almond butter nut cluster, and these are trail mix bars.
There's so much in those clusters. Wow.
So these are soft, and these are firm.
What would you like to try, Hugh?
I want a chocolate thingy.
I hate to say it, but I think I was going to go for the chocolate thingy too. So maybe I
I'm
should
only
try
having
another one.
So.
Okay, I'm going to try the coconut truffle just because I'm one of those people who thinks that you should try something else. If somebody else got to the chocolate first.
Let's make sure we catch people eating this stuff, Joseph.
Is this like
you bite
people,
first.
People eating things B-roll. Those are good.
Wow.
So it's a great gift to give to your favorite grocery bagger, your groomer, your hairdresser, your car mechanic, as a hostess gift, or just to have around when at night you want a healthy snack with your matcha tea.
You know what? This is so good. This is so moist. Like what is making this thing like melt in your mouth?
Coconut oil.
And did
Coconut
you see those
oil.
are?
Really?
You said those ones are dehydrated too.
No,
aren't
those
they?
aren't.
Or those ones aren't.
No,
okay.
those aren't either.
Okay. No, I didn't think they could be because these are.
It's the coconut oil.
So and that's nice. That's actually
Wow.
raw coconut, which is so much nicer than the toasted. Although
That's right.
That is
For chocolate, for
Fantastic.
people that want that chocolate fix, this is perfect.
that is great.
now, what else is in these ones?
Coconut cashews, maple syrup, coconut oil. That's it. I think maybe some vanilla.
And we know how healthy coconut is. It's like the miracle thing now, right?
That's right, absolutely. Don't touch olive oil. Do coconut oil.
So okay, Alexi. So now let's talk about how you can help people watching here. So we already mentioned the cancer. If somebody's dealing with cancer, you can kind of coach them and offer them a lot of different things to think about and try if they like.
I mean, I do meals for people. Actually, ideally, is I'll come in on a Sunday afternoon and show you how to prepare, a bunch of different, not raw food, a few raw things, but like different soups, entrees, maybe some desserts that don't need a dehydrator, and then I leave you with the food for the week and the recipes. Or invite a group of girlfriends together for an evening, and I'll come out and demonstrate whatever you want, whether it's the gluten dairy-free foods, whether it's an elegant dinner party, whether it's something for Valentine's Day coming up, or maybe a New Year's Day brunch.
Great. And now, do you help people all over Ontario?
Yeah, pretty much Ontario. I've been up to Thunder Bay. I've been up to North Bay. I've been to Sarnia.
How far up is Shelburne? I actually don't know where that is.
It's just a little less than 2 hours. It's do you know where Orangeville is?
Yep.
It's about half an hour north of Orangeville.
Okay.
Just west of Alliston.
I know where Allison is.
Okay,
Yeah.
just 20 minutes west of Alliston.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I go to your website, am I going to be able to find the recipe for those amazing coconut truffles?
No.
Are they a trade secret?
Yeah. Well, no, basically not coconut, cashews, coconut oil, maple syrup.
Ground coconut?
I put the coconut and the cashews in the food processor, so it's fine. And then I add it like a fine meal, and I add the coconut oil and the maple syrup. Then I let it firm up in the fridge. I'll roll it together like a dough. I'll let it firm in the fridge, and then I take it out and I make it into balls and roll it into more coconut, and then I keep it refrigerated.
Now, do you have a cookbook or anything you've...
No, I don't. I don't.
Did you ever think about writing one?
There's so many cookbooks out there.
I know, but still not like this.
Yeah, like I sort of focus more on the cerebral or the environmental toxins or the detox or that,
So it's more holistic and it's more directed towards individuals?
Yeah,
then?
I like the cerebral stuff. Like, for me, this is a piece of cake.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can do it without thinking.
Right.
Whereas to sit down and write something more cerebral is more challenging, and I would get more personal satisfaction out of it.
So are you going to write a book like that?
I'm seriously thinking about that one. The cookbook doesn't grab me.
So this is really going to be about the life.
Yeah.
It's really a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
thing.
Well, actually, I'm coming out with a course I'm going to be doing regular YouTubes each week on focusing on maybe foods that are healing for arthritis or for gout or for diabetes. So, because, we should incorporate foods in our diet that we don't realize our foods are healing. Mm-hmm. I don't like to say medicinal mushrooms, medicinal herbs, carminative spices, but we use them all the time, like basil, like thyme, oregano, mint. We use them all the time. You should incorporate medicinal mushrooms all the time. You should incorporate your seaweeds all the time. On a daily basis. So I sort of take my classes more, it's just not just a recipe. It's good for you or it's healing because.
Right.
So I think it's always hard for people to anticipate and to try to prevent things that they don't have yet.
Well, exactly. And then people go, well, I don't know what seaweed. Like, I don't know what to do with seaweed. Well, just sprinkle some on your salad or what. I don't know what to do with mushrooms. Like, mushrooms themselves are considered a fungus, but the medicinal ones, like your reishi, your shiitakes, your lion's mane, your shaga. Shaga is excellent for cancer. Shaga tea.
How about enoki's? I like enoki's.
No, not medicinal. Not a medicinal. Neither are portobellos. Sorry, guys.
No. And white mushrooms and brown mushrooms are basically the same
What
thing.
about those
right?
deep fried mushrooms?
No.
with lots of sour cream, right?
Mock sour cream, excuse me. So, like I do a shiitake and broccoli soup. I mean, how healing is that? And it tastes good. People think that healthy food doesn't taste good. I mean, this is delicious, right?
I think one of the problems with healthy food, though, is that when you start to eat healthy food and realize it tastes good, you realize that all the cheap food you eat is not very tasty.
And then when you go back, your body's going, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Because your body does get used to it. I know that.
Your
I
taste
noticed
buds
that
get used
myself.
to it. Yeah.
That's true.
It's not even the taste buds. Like, I eat a big salad every day. See, I'm following your advice.
You need to start sprinkling some seaweed on it, though.
Well, just maybe. But I've started putting
Those flakes,
Well, I use the Tony Hornick's sprouts. I sprinkle that
perfect.
on, right?
Perfect.
But my body needs it now. When I started, is like, a bunch of vegetables. I prefer pizza and hamburgers, right? But now, if I don't have that salad every day, my body lets me know about it.
I know. I crave my green smoothie every morning for breakfast. Like, it's like, my routine. It doesn't matter whether I have it at 6 o'clock in the morning or I have it at 10 o'clock in the morning. I need my green smoothie.
And you get used to feeling good.
Oh, absolutely.
And having energy.
That's right.
And having a clear mind, right?
That's right.
All that stuff.
And how about, It sounds like this might be good for mental disorders too, then?
Absolutely. I mean, everything is so much intertwined with diet. It's just totally amazing.
That's your first medicine, is your
That's right.
food,
I mean,
right?
everything is in God's pharmacy, as in farm, F-A-R-M, as opposed to P-H-A-R-M.
Yeah.
You know, I can't remember who it was that said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine thy food."
It's the way it should be.
You know,
And it's the way that it can be.
I mean,
Everybody watching right now to get in touch with you, Alexi. And now, do you want to leave? I mean, do you want to give some contact info?
yeah.
And
Well,
final.
well, I'm on Facebook, and I have a website, Stole This Cuisine. So my Facebook site is Stole This Cuisine. Also, I have another one, Cancer is My Friend, under Facebook, or my name under Facebook, or StoleThisCuisine.com as a website, or my phone number is 416-899-2774. I do turn off my cell phone at night. I have no Wi-Fi in my house at night.
Wow. You're living it.
You
Right?
got that one for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Well, great to see you again, Alexi. And
sure.
thanks for bringing these treats in.
Oh, my pleasure.
So I guess we're going to wrap the show up, and then we're going to have a little impromptu raw food party.
That does not sound
Right.
like a bad idea to me at all.
Sounds
So
good.
thanks for coming in
Oh,
today.
thank you. My pleasure.
All right.
My pleasure.
Okay, stovelesscuisine.com. I think that's it for the show, unless somebody else is out there. You know what I mean? So we're gonna say bye to
Just wanna
everybody,
make things up.
and we'll be back next week or next year, one or the other, because it's almost Christmas.
Right.
Thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.